The Kushtaka. These are mythical shape-shifting creatures found in the stories of Native Americans in southeastern Alaska. The name roughly translates to land otter man. The stories say that these creatures will shift between the human and otter at will. They are cruel creatures who take pleasure in tricking sailors to their death. If they are not at sea, they live in rivers and deploy a creepy tactic to attract their prey. The Kushtaka is said to imitate the cries of a baby or the screams of a woman in order to lure their victims to the river. Once there, the Kushtaka either kills the person by tearing them to shreds or turns them into a Kushtaka themselves. Legend says that the Kushtaka can be warded off by using copper, urine, dogs, or fire. Some stories do tell of benevolent Kushtaka who will help people, but many feel it's simply not worth the risk to approach them if they ever do hear its cries in the Alaska. The spectre moose. In marine, people have been spotting a peculiar moose of over 100 years. This one stands out, though they say it's spectral, a ghost moose, if you will. It's also huge, standing from some 10th to 15th feet high. It was first seen in 1900s when locals described it was huge with a ghostly dirty white color and an enormous set of antlers. The coat of the animal is sometimes described as glowing faintly. The spectre moose was said to have an extremely acute sense of hearing and smell, as well as the ability to disappear or appear at will, and to phase through solid objects. Hunters who came across it said they could never line up properly for a shot as the moose would blink in and out of existence before their very eyes. In 1938, a hunter said he saw it standing among a herd of other moose. It was stood with two large males, but it made them look like dwarfs. He would have thought it was just a humongous moose if it wasn't for the strange white glow around its body. The Snally Caster. This is a mythical dragon-like beast said to inhabit central Maryland. It was first described by German immigrants who called it the Schnechler Geist, which translates to quick ghost. It's been described as being half bird, half reptile, and with a strange metallic beak lined up with razor-sharp teeth. Some even say it has octopus-like tentacles. It sweeps down silently along the sky, carries the victims to its den, where it then sucks them dry of blood. Newspaper reports from 1909 describe encounters between local residents and a beast with enormous wings, claws like steel hooks, a pair of pointed bill, and an eye in the center of its forehead. They say its screech sounded like a locomotive whistle. Other than the human it hunts, the Snallygaster is said to have one mortal enemy, the Divine. The Divine is reported to be a mammalian biped that looks like a wolf but stands like a human. It's been reported all of Maryland, and locals have said they have seen vicious battle between the two. Huggin Molly. You might think her name sounds nice. Everyone needs a hug from time to time, not from this Molly. Generations of people from Alabama have grown up with this creepy legend. They say she is a giant ghost, at least 7 feet tall, who wanders the street of Abbeville, Alabama. Late at night, she can be seen dragging her long black skirt as she goes. If you see her, run, because if she sees you, she will chase you and she will get you. She picks you up and with her huge arms she gives you the tightest hug hug of your life while screaming in your ears. They say the horrible sound never leaves you. There have been no reports of Huggin Molly even killing someone, but her attacks are enough to strike fear into the hearts of everyone around. The Shank Ape. No, that's not my nickname. This is actually one of the most famous mysterious creatures said to wander from Florida to North Carolina and Arkansas. As you might expect from the skunk part of its name, this thing doesn't smell great. Ever since the first sighting of it in 1960s, people have mentioned the horrific smell of this thing. Often you can smell it before seeing when you finally do. It looks like an ape, big, hairy and running on two legs. For some people, the Shank Ape isn't just a rumor, it's a reality. Dave Shelley is the man who established the official Shank Ape research headquarters. He said that there are more than one or two by nine of these creatures living in the Florida Everglades. He has spent most of his life trying to document them. According to Shelley, the average male skunk ape stands 6 to 7 feet tall and weighs roughly 450 lbs. Female is 5 to 6 feet tall and weight in at about 250 lbs.